Last time on Backseat Critique.
Greetings, gentle viewers.
Yes, we have a Robin and a me, but I'm crap. Why don't we go to the cinema?
I'm just laughing at myself.
So we saw The Monkey. What did you think of The Monkey?
It was quite good. I think it was trying to be funny, and it was in quite a few places. It was.
Do you like that?
It's not there. Like, I like different films.
Oh no.
And now the conclusion.
We should start again. So we're officially starting again.
Yes.
Sorry, the previous one was all dramatic and stuff, and then I was like, oh no, what's going on and stuff like that, and then it ended up in there and fell over and it turned itself off, and it's like, rather than edit them together, we're just doing it again.
You should release it as a flubs track.
We could, yeah.
Yeah.
The
Greetings. Hello. I'm here.
yes. Basically, Robin is coming to visit us this weekend, obviously. Earlier we watched Terror Revision for Notes, and we watched Ghost Stories from 2017, just, you know, because we're actually going to go see the play version in May, and I was like, we should watch this first, because I've seen the film. That's great. And then I was like...
It was good.
Yeah. We could do a mini backseat critique for that at the end.
And Terror Vision was fantastic.
Yeah. Terror Vision's great. And so then finally I was like, rather than, you know, watch another terrible film for notes or something like that tonight, why don't we go to the cinema? Because I never go to the cinema, and I doubly never go to the cinema with you know, with a backseat critique. Although 2 weeks ago I did go to see Captain America 4 with the ones with the Minions.
Did you enjoy it? Is it any good?
I thought it was fine. I'm perfectly fine. I have no Marvel fatigue, so I am happy with it. Other people disagree, though.
I don't have Marvel fatigue. I have superhero genre fatigue.
See, that's just because you're weak. See, I cut my teeth on watching like 60 episodes of Star Trek a year and wanting more in the 90s. So, you know, I don't understand getting fatigued for a genre. There's a lot of different films out there. Just watch something else.
There are, but they haven't. And it's not just Marvel. Please don't read it that way. But like, they haven't changed the formula in so long, and it's just like, yeah, I've seen this film already. It's got a different.
That's the way it is with all film.
It's got a different main character who's using the exact same lines, written in the exact same way, with the same quips. It doesn't matter who the main character of a Marvel thing is anymore. They say the same things.
This is why you should, you know, you should watch a big variety of films, because, you know, if you think all films are the same, you're watching similar films.
No, I think
There's
all superhero
films.
mainstream current big blockbuster films and Marvel and DC alike are the same.
Watch Stonewall and Riot.
I've watched Stonewall and Riot.
Watch it again.
It was awful. So we watched The Monkey.
We did.
It was good.
Went in there basically blind. I'd heard that I heard reviews were good. I'd heard it was funny, and that was I knew it was based on a Stephen King short story that I've not read. And apart from that, completely blind. And yourself?
Yeah, I knew it was based on a Stephen King short story. That's about it. It was funny. It was actually quite funny. And the normies were finding it funny, which surprised me.
Yeah.
Normally the gratuitous blood explodey jokes are ones that we laugh at.
It my general takeaway, okay, whenever you watch accurate Stephen King adaptation, I'm not saying this was accurate, I have no idea, but when you watch an accurate Stephen King adaptation, generally the dialogue comes across as very odd, because his dialogue, if it's been accurately transposed, sounds okay in a book, but you give it to real people to perform, and it is weird and stylized.
And you can smell the cocaine.
Yeah, it's just it's got this odd sort of thing to it, and this, if anything, this sort of led into it. You could tell they were taking that, they realized that, and they were sort of running with it.
Yeah, it was like similar to that other.
Okay.
Similar to that other film we watched. It was just like a super magic realism thing, and it was very stylized, the whole film.
Yeah, it was very it felt like a parody of, say, the Langoliers, the way the acting and the dialogue is in the Langoliers, or the TV version of It, or one of those ones which is very accurate. And for some reason there was a nice lady in this called Annie Wilkes, and I was like, wait a sec, the lady from Misery, you know, in between falling asleep, because I did fall asleep, not because of the film, but because I'm tired as fuck.
I had to wake you up. But
the people explode and Monkey does crazy shit, and you know, I'm fine, but you know, you get stirred and look from you, and I'm like, oh no.
So without going into spoilers yet at this point, it was good. There's some crazy shit with the monkey, and there's quite a lot of gore, but that's probably, you can tell that from the trailer, I'm sure. Right?
And the main actor is distracting like James Franco, but slightly inflated, and James Franco, but with on a character slider, with James Franco on a professional WWE wrestler on that side, it's like 5% further closer to WWE, because he's like a bigger James Franco, slightly more, brick-like.
Was him and his brother played by the same adult actor?
Yes.
Okay.
I just realized where else we saw him. He's the love interest from Divergent and Insurgent and Malignant.
Is that the one where they jump
Allegiant?
off the trains?
Yes. Malignant, Insipid, you know those ones.
Yeah.
4, that was.
I'm 4. Oh, give me a tattoo. There, now you've got a tattoo.
I'm 4. He's so proud of his IQ.
Oh, but they were terrible films. This was not a bad film.
It was fine. Although I'm gonna have to do some looking up, because I noticed in the credits of the producers there was Seltzer and Freeberg. I think there was Seltzer and Freeberg, and I'm like, is these the fuckers who did like a superhero movie and all? Was this produced by them, or is it two people with similar names? Because
yeah, it could be.
I am all for people expanding their sort of genre. Like the guy did Chernobyl. His biggest work before that was one of those films.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, so I'm happy with it. If it was, I'm glad they expanded. But
yeah,
it's a bit weird.
There was less. I won't say there was less gross out humor, but there actually wasn't. There was quite a lot of gross out humor, just of a different category.
And it's a very odd plot. And
we'll do spoiler plot summary. So it starts off with like a man walking into a pawn shop trying to get rid of a monkey.
Adam Scott, the pilot of the USS Defiant in Star Trek First Contact, and he's appeared in some stuff, other things that big TV shows now, but real people know him for Star Trek First Contact. He's like, "Sir, it's the Enterprise," and then Worf's like, "Perhaps it is a good day to die."
Worf's always saying, but it's a good day to die.
We never actually see what happens to his character in First Contact. Does he actually get out of the Defiant? Does it get beamed over there? Does it get turned into a Borg? Who knows?
Oh, he'll show up in Lower Decks season 6.
That would be really funny. Lower Decks, they're cancelled now, but they should have brought Adam Scott in as that character.
They genuinely did bring a lot of people in as little bit parts that they were before.
They did.
It was really good. But anyway, so Adam Scott's character, who is also a pilot in this, walks into a pawn shop with a monkey, and he's like, "I want rid of this monkey." The guy's like, "No, it's holding its arm up." He's like, "If its arm comes down, we're all fucked." And its arm came down, and they were all fucked. He got shot by his own harpoon in the pawn shop. And that's what happens. Every time the monkey is wound up and plays his drums, somebody dies in a horrifically strange fashion.
I don't know if this is from the short story or not. Like, I doubt it, because this predates it. But it basically, the way that this was done, it came across as like a parody of the Final Destination films.
Yeah.
Do you know the origin of the Final Destination films?
I've seen them, but
the guy who wrote the guy who came up with it, started out as a spec script for an episode of the X-Files in series 2. It was not, obviously it wasn't produced, but Darren Morgan and James Wong got a hold of it, and they later on adapted it into the feature film. But those were the guys who wrote some of the best episodes of the X-Files. Just think, alternate reality, Final Destination could have been an X-Files script. The guy who wrote the original spec script, he's released it on the internet. You can read this unmade Final Destination episode of the X-Files if you want.
I watched the first Final Destination film I saw was like number 7 or something, and I saw it with you in the cinema for one of these. Then I went back and watched the rest of them.
Oh, that was the one that was revealed it was a prequel to the first one right at the end.
So I watched them in the correct order.
I remember Megan and I once, we were flying out to Com Bravo one year, so the night before we watched like all the first 6 Final Destinations in a row.
Before getting on a plane?
Yeah! That's how you mainline it.
Well done. But anyway, so later down the line, this kid's 2 sons that he's either ran out on or died on. We never get like actual clarity on that.
I didn't even realize he was connected. I was waiting for his character to turn up again, because they weren't very good with establishing when some things were.
Yeah, well, that's what happens whenever you fall asleep during.
That is true.
But no, anyway, so the kids have find the monkey and their dad's pile of old shit that he has to bring back from piloting all around the world. They turn the key and their babysitter dies. The boy turns the key and he's like, kill my brother, he's an asshole, and his mom dies. And then they're like, no, fuck
His
the
mom,
monkey.
who was She-Hulk, and it takes a lot to kill
Yeah,
She-Hulk.
she was.
She was also Orphan Black in Orphan Black. I realized that, that's the name of the show and not the character, but she plays literally about 3/4 of the characters in that, so I'm just calling she's Orphan Black. And she was the little girl in Ginger Snaps 2.
Ah,
Ginger Snaps Back. One of the best werewolf films ever made.
you have an incredible ability to recognize actors.
It's Tatiana Maslany. I couldn't remember the name of her actor until I saw the end credit, but I was like, oh yeah, it's her.
Me and my dad once walked past each other at a bus stop in Spain because one of us was wearing a hat that we couldn't recognize the other.
Okay, yeah, I'm not quite like that. I'm pretty good with actors.
I don't recognize faces very well unless they're like very unique.
I quite often I'll be like, who the fuck is it? I recognize you from something, and then I'll sort of remember character they played, but not who the actors. And then I'll start listing off things that they were in, but without no idea who the fuck they are.
Oh, what do you call that person? They were in this. They won the Oscar this year for this guy.
What do you call them? I have no idea, but I know what their favorite burger is.
I've read their autobiography. I can tell you what their mom's called. No, but no, this was good. That's basically the film. Just the lives of these two twin brothers as the monkey is involved.
One at some point, when you fall asleep, they become adults, and one of them suddenly has an estranged wife and a kid, and then the other one's turned into a supervillain. And
That was nothing to do with you falling asleep. That just it's cut to 25 years later after they threw it down the well. And
okay, so that was not my problem. Excellent.
yeah, no, it was just suddenly 25 years later. The monkey didn't bother us for 25 years. Oh, okay. And then he's got a kid and is like, I only want to be your dad once a year. That's the only time I see my child because I'm dangerous and bad and evil.
Well, to be fair, I think that attitude should be extended to all the cast members of, Divergent, to be, especially Miles Teller.
Hunger Games is a lot to answer for, setting off that whole genre, because Hunger Games was great. Hunger Games had a point. Take down the fucking capitalism, rise up your proletarian masses, seize the means productions, and then everything else was just like, yeah, we're in a teen dystopia, and that's our only plot.
I'm in a maze, and I feel like running.
Don't. They're so bad.
Like, say, okay, I have nothing against Miles Teller particularly. He just has in his screen persona just screams asshole. And,
He's very good at playing them.
Yes. A bit like Jack Gleason in that regard.
Oh, what do you call him? Short dude, he was in Always Sunny.
Danny DeVito?
Yes, Danny DeVito. Thank you. You see, wonderful reference here. Danny DeVito is very good at playing assholes, and apparently he's like one of the nicest guys ever to actually work with on set.
He usually plays fairly gregarious characters, even when they're villains.
Yeah.
He's a sort of his characters generally you are okay with hanging out with, even if they are evil and want to kill you.
Yeah.
Like his penguin.
The specific one I remember is that I think it was Matilda's dad, where he's like just an utter dick.
He directed Matilda.
Oh yeah, I know that. But like
if they made an Addams Family movie in the early '80s, he would have been a brilliant Gomez. Him and Shelley Duvall.
He's built like the original Gomez.
Yeah, he looked just like the comic one. And then Shelley Duvall, who played the wife in The Shining. Together, they would have been like cartoon perfect Gomez and Morticia.
I can see that.
Oh well.
But the monkey was good.
It was fine. Yeah, it was. I wasn't. Apparently, Film Brain's review says that it's like existential and depressing. So at least that's what Omega said. But
it is a little bit. It's very nihilistic. Just everybody dies, and that's what happens. That's the meaning of life.
Then literally the horseman of the apocalypse just wanders past, and it's like, "Yo, guys, you have the monkey, and watched all these people die. Check it out." And he looks at them sadly and then just walks off on his pale horse, and like
it was a line a few times in the film foreshadowing it being like, I haven't seen a rider on a pale horse. I've just got a monkey that kills people. I thought death was Michael Sheen as he rode out. I was gonna be like, but then it was
Michael Sheen.
Yeah. It's like, why is Michael Sheen death in this film?
for those of you who don't remember or didn't see the videos, back when we, years and years ago, we watched all the Twilight movies in a row. Well, there was a lot of alcohol getting consumed, and then when Michael Sheen started turning up, it became a running thing. Michael Sheen!
Oh.
And then like about a few days later, after recovering, we came back and we watched the gay porn version, Twinklight.
I don't recall Twinklight.
I
definitely watched it, but I don't recall.
There's a backseat critique of us.
I recall putting the DVD in, and I recall doing the back. I don't recall Twinklight at all.
It's probably for the best.
Oh. See, my favourite Michael Sheen role is still Good Omens. It's such a good adaptation, but I don't know if I'm allowed to be a Good Omens fan anymore or not. Just
yeah,
fun, but Michael Sheen wasn't in this film.
Yes, he wasn't.
Yeah. He would have been good in it.
Struggling to think about who he would have played, because Michael Sheen, he very much has a type of role he plays. Again, his early stuff that you would notice him from, like the first thing I saw him in was Underworld 1, where he played the leader of the werewolves, and he's the most un-Michael Sheen character ever. It's like he just went a 180 from his first big role, and then he ran with it. I don't think I can think of another actor who did that.
It could have been the what do you call him? Swinger dude. The uncle.
Oh, the uncle who died. It's weird. We have two movies that we watched today which feature casual swinging, where the kids know that they're swingers and stuff like that, and then living with the kids, and it's like this is an interesting theme for movies completely. And
hey, can me and my teenage boyfriend use the hot tub? No, hardly. We're swinging tonight.
What makes this even weirder is you chose TerrorVision to watch, having no idea about it, and I chose The Monkey, having no idea about it, and they both feature adult swingers. Well, thankfully they're adult swingers, raising kids and being very blasé about it. Yeah. I can't think of any other films where this has actually happened that films I've seen where this happens.
No, it's weird that it's happened twice in a day.
Yeah.
But this is officially
It's like the time last year when I went to the cinema 3 times and 2 of the movies were adaptations of the Ramayana. That was Monkey Man and Mantra Warriors: Legend of the Eight Moons.
Where was that in Thailand?
Yeah, I saw that in Thailand.
Okay, yeah.
I saw Monkey Man in Ireland though. They were, one was a Thai film, was a British Indian production, but they were all Ramayana.
Absolutely. This is officially the best film I've seen in the cinema all year.
Oh dear.
It's the only film I've seen this time. I did see Titanic the musical at the end of last year. I don't know if that counts.
Odd.
Not very good, but go watch it.
Cinema films I've seen Captain America. Before that, I saw I think the last thing I saw in the cinema was Deadpool, Wolverine, because I'm still a Marvel shill. I've never been paid for it, but they pay me in love and films.
I definitely seen Deadpool 4, but or 3, Deadpool and Wolverine. I must have rented it on Disney. I don't think I went to the cinema.
You don't have to rent it on Disney. If you got Disney Plus, you got it for free.
Yeah, no, they did this thing where when it's in the cinema, you can pay a premium to watch it now.
Oh.
Alright.
The main issue with that is that it didn't go far enough with its, weirdness.
Yeah, it kind of... I felt like it didn't move. It stayed in the zone that Deadpool 2 reached, and that was it.
They should have... Yeah, they need to be more ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, I thought it was fun, it was fine. No issue with it.
It was dead on, I had no issue with it, I just...
You don't want to destroy it.
I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to.
I'm going to have fun tonight looking up The Monkey, the short story, just to see how accurate it is.
I've read a lot of Stephen King. I've probably read The Monkey. I went through a phase in
I think it's in Skeleton Key.
High school where I read just a lot of Stephen King's work. Some of it is utter shit. Like even as an avid reader of stupid stuff, some of it is utter shit. And
so you're saying The Jaunt could be a metaphor for reading a bunch of Stephen King stuff while on a long journey?
You lost me at The Jaunt.
Do you know The Jaunt, his sci-fi short story about instantaneous teleportation, and you go mad and die if you.
I just think R.L. Stein's a better writer.
It's longer than you think, Pat. Longer than you think.
But what do you call it? I read that much Stephen King shit in like 1 month that all kind of blurred together into like one binge of just 80s cocaine fueled random shit. But Pet Sematary is definitely his best book. That and Gerald's Game. Gerald's Game is fucking creepy.
The film version was pretty good. That was Mike Flanagan. Although it's Mike Flanagan who did Oculus and Doctor Sleep and The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix and The Haunting of Bly Manor and Midnight Mass. And you've seen Oculus.
Yes.
The one with the evil mirror.
Yes.
Check out the rest of his stuff. He is the most spectacularly talented horror director I can think of.
I'm going to make you open a file and Dropbox of movies that you say I should watch.
Well, most of these are on Netflix because, you know, Flanagan...
Oh, no, I just mean the list.
Oh, okay. He did a movie called Hush, which is basically part of a slasher film stretched out to a full film. So you know how slasher film, you got like the slasher is going around killing people like, you know, every 5 minutes, whatever. Well, Hush is there's a slasher who's doing that, but the entire film is just this lady who's deaf and dumb, who's in her house alone, and the slasher decides to murder her, and it's her fighting off the slasher while unable to hear him or cry out for help for 90 odd minutes, and it's great.
It does sound like it should be one segment of an actual slasher film.
Yeah, it's like they had a challenge, like take this, make it that.
It's like that one you showed me earlier, The Odyssey, but like the 5th installment of...
Yeah, the return, yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you like your Stephen King, his miniseries Midnight Mass is 8-hour-long episodes.
Yeah.
It's basically the best Stephen King adaptation we've ever seen that's not actually a Stephen King adaptation. It's a small New England town, of insular community full of, vividly drawn Stephen King archetype characters. Vampires arrive, shit happens, but it's...
That's what I would say. This film, Monkey, was very Stephen King-like characters.
It
It's a
was.
very good at a description.
But to be fair, with Mike Flanagan's one, with the Midnight Mass makes sense because it's not actually a Stephen King adaptation. He's just like, I fucking love Stephen King, I'm going to do my own version.
That's what R.L. Stine did when he wrote all the Goosebumps books.
And what do you call it? Flanagan's currently doing The Life of Chuck.
Not Chucky?
No, it's another Stephen King. He's basically... Flanagan has a record of Stephen King as good as Frank Darabont, who did The Green Mile, The Shawshank Redemption, and The Mist.
Green Mile was a good film.
The Mist. Have you not seen The Mist?
Yes.
Good. Okay,
I
I
just
don't have
think
to
The Green
kill you.
Mile's the better of the three.
I will, pretend that you said something undefinable and alien, and so I don't have to hurt you.
Where he turns into moths at the end, made me cry.
Ironically, The Mist, the Netflix remake TV series, which was shite, features people turning into moths.
Oh.
Because, it makes no fucking sense. Fuck that remake.
Oh. But look, we're outside a McDonald's for authenticity, and we're in a car.
Yeah, and there's a cinema over there, and there's a pet shop over there.
It's just like old times.
Yes. Who knows where we are? Put in the comments where you think we are. But yeah, let's talk about Ghost Stories very briefly.
Yes, Ghost Stories good, the film.
Yep.
More of a psychological horror than I thought it was going to be.
It's a very sad horror. It's like, oh no, horror is what everything sad, and it's getting sadder and sadder. It's like, oh no! But it's spectacularly well done. And everything at the end sort of makes sense, even though you claim it doesn't all, but I'm like, it does.
I didn't say it doesn't all, I just said I didn't quite track one aspect.
Andy Nyman would cry if he heard you say that, and he was in Dead Set where he played the prick, and that...
Andy Nyman doesn't give a fuck about my opinion.
You're probably right.
Random secondary cast who's sometimes in an internet review show.
Write the show if you're Andy Nyman.
Please, I'd love to hear your opinions on my opinions of your work. Oh dear, no, but Ghost Stories was good. The film version at least kept up a good creepy atmosphere the whole way through, even the bits that weren't legitimately supposed to be the scary parts. I felt uncomfortable in my skin watching this man be uncomfortable in his skin.
And I am really looking forward to, in May, seeing this play version. I want to know how they do some of the stuff from the film in the play. Like I know some stuff doesn't get translated 100%, but other stuff does, and I'm like, I want to know, because apparently the car bit, you know, with the goat thing, apparently that happens on stage. I don't know how.
I have a friend that works in stage direction. If we don't understand anything, we can find out.
I maintain it's probably really helped because the version we're seeing is directed by Nyman and Jeremy Dyson, and they did the original one. They wrote and directed this one as well. That I believe Nyman was a stage magician for a while, and I'm pretty sure that some of his tricks ended up in the thing to make it more spectacular.
I think the Chavs are doing their mating call.
Yeah. So yeah, Ghost Stories was good. The Monkey wasn't quite as good, but oh
It
well.
was still okay. It wasn't bad.
Oh yeah, it's not bad. Out of the 3 films that we saw today, it's probably the worst.
Some of the effects reminded me of early Peter Jackson shit.
Yeah.
Especially the body bag with the mincemeat guy in it. The guy that got eaten by... How does that work? Wasps don't eat you.
I don't think they really cared about the reality of it. It seems to be magic involved.
Yeah, magic evil monkey. Yeah, like a bride falling through the ceiling. Where did she come from?
Skydiving. Remember there was this guy...
Oh, the wedding sky. Ah,
See,
damn it, I
they
missed
said-
that Chekhov's
They
gun.
set that up. I was asleep and I picked up on that.
You weren't asleep by that point.
This is true. I was drinking Iron Brew though.
I gotta try it. There's the label. There it is. Goodbye, my friends.